Hello, welcome to CLSB Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. So today we're going to be talking about Trump and his polling with young people. It has really bottomed out, and actually, I've never quite seen a drop of this magnitude in such a short period of time. So let's just get into it real quick. Trump's polling is completely bottomed out. We're seeing it just about at every age level, actually, all the way up to the people in their 90s. But I mean, let me show you the math. It's pretty compelling. Real quick, this is on, you can subscribe on Substack or YouTube at CLSB Politics. Uh, so they're losing the voters, and the group of voters they're losing is pretty painful because of just demographics. So the millennials make up the largest generation in the history of our country. We've never had one this big. It's bigger than the boomers. I'm Gen X, so we're the smallest generation ever. So way bigger than us by a million miles. And they've started voting. They actually had some of them had the opportunity to vote for Obama right when they were just turned 18. And they've checked in and out of the voting process quite a few times. They got back into it during COVID. And then I think they were asleep at the wheel in 24, to be honest. Also, they kind of felt like the Democratic Party was ramming Harris down their throat. They didn't really appreciate that much. They wanted a choice. And I don't think they were going to choose anyone over the age of 50, to be honest. So real quick, let's just talk about where the Trump voters are, because I think this is kind of the beginning of the end for El Trumpo. So amongst 18 to 34, he's running around 69%. And at 35 to 49, he's running at 84. So between that 69 and that 84 is the millennials. That's where they are. And in fact, they're really the 69 percentile. So he's lost a third of the largest generation of voters in his own party, amongst people who said that they vote Trump. That's a huge shift. And you can see where it's gone from February to August. Keep in mind, February, right? March, April, May, June, July, August. 7 months. He went from 92 to 69. He still has 18 more months to go before the midterms. So this is going to be interesting. All right. And this is what everyone else is saying. Needless to say, Harris voters, I don't know who these 5% were in February, but 5% approved of Trump. I guess they were going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Amongst Harris voters. Trump voters overall have dropped 10 points. Now, that is disastrous for the midterms for these Republicans in Congress. Actually, it could mean if the Democrats have good candidates in some of these Senate seats that shouldn't be won, they could win. So there's a lot of interesting things going on there. But when you do look at the total, you're looking at a drop of 9 points, which, considering that Harris is more or less flat as far as her voters go, that entire drop is the GOP. Now let's talk about the ages real quick. So the 65 plus have dropped from 4%, from a popularity vote margin of 4 to a -7. Means he's underwater with the second largest voting population. And then there's my generation, which he's now underwater with. Not sure how he was ever above water. Then there's the millennials. They're younger than, they're sitting there, Gen X, Gen Y, and Z are sitting there, and they already didn't like him, and now they really don't like him. They've dropped 11 points. And then you have the 18 to 29. These are the largest generation in our country's history. And they have dropped 23 points. So, yeah, this is AP. They do know what they're doing when it comes to polling. They wouldn't have put this number out there unless they had a really good reason to. So I think that if I was a Republican in any kind of, regardless of redistricting, any kind of office, I'd be sitting there looking at that, looking up the demographics of my district. And like, for example, Texas is 34 and a half years old, demographically speaking. 34 and a half. That means that's the last group you want voting if you're a Republican in Texas. That's why they've restricted the voting laws so much, because they don't want young people to vote. God help them. If they did vote, there'd be no more Republicans left in Texas. So real quick, just a reminder, I'm on Substack now, but I'm also on YouTube. This will be on both channels. If you like the work I'm doing here, please like and subscribe and share this with friends, especially if they're under the age of 30, because I think this is useful information for them. They can see where their cohorts are headed. And if I were anyone in the Republican Party, I'd be real nervous about what's going down. So anyway, I hope everyone has a great week. I'm gonna have a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. It's why I've been so busy. I haven't done so many shows, as many as I need to, and I plan to rectify that. All right. Hope everyone has a great week. Talk to you later.